Did you know that you can use the AND function to check if a number in a cell is between two numbers? For example, to test if a number is between 10 and 20, we can insert the AND function. Then select cell B4, insert the bigger than symbol, and then insert a 10. Then, for the second argument, we select again B4. This time, we insert the smaller than symbol, and then insert a 20. So, the AND function here checks that both conditions are true, namely that B4 is greater than 10 and B4 is less than 20. If both tests return true, AND returns true. If even one test is false, AND returns false. What if instead we also want to include the number 10 and 20 in the allowed range of values? Well, to do that, we can simply adjust the logic to use the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to symbol, and there you have it. What about nesting the AND with the if function? The AND function is often embedded inside the if function as the logical test to simplify what would otherwise be a more complex formula. For example, in the worksheet below, the goal is to test the results in columns B and C. If both scores are over 100, the result should be pass. Otherwise, the result should be fail. To achieve that, we can type in an equal sign and insert the if function. Then, we nest the AND function within the if function and open the parenthesis. Now, for the first argument of the AND function, we select our desired cell and then make that greater than 100. For the second argument, we select our second cell and make that also greater than 100. Now, we have defined the arguments of our AND function, so we can close the parenthesis and then define what happens if the AND function returns true, and what should happen when the AND function returns false. Alright, so what happens here is that we nest the AND function as the logical test argument for the if function. The AND function tests both conditions and gives a true or a false as an outcome. This outcome is then used by the if function for the logical test argument. If it is true, then the function will return pass, and if it is false, then the function will return fail. We can now drag the formula down, and it return pass or fail for each row. Now, what about combining the AND with the OR function to build even more advanced formulas? In this example, the goal is to identify records where the color is either blue or yellow, and the quantity is over 50. To do this, we can set up the following formula. We start by typing in the AND function. Immediately after, we type OR and open the parenthesis. For the first argument of the OR function, we click the cell containing the color and type equal blue. Next, we type a comma, select our cell again, and type equal to yellow. Once both OR arguments are defined, we close the OR function, type a comma, select the quantity cell, and then type greater than 50. Alright, so like AND, the OR function returns a true or a false. However, only one condition must be true for the OR function to return true. Then, the AND function uses the outcome of the OR function for its first argument. If that, for example, is true, and the second logical test for the AND function is also true, then the function returns a true. If any of the arguments of the AND function would return a false, then the formula would return a false. Also, a short note, remember that you must always enclose text values in double quotes. Alright, now what about using the AND function with a range of cells? Can it handle that? For example, if we want to test if a student passed all his classes, whereby he must have gotten at least 60 for each class, then we can simply use the AND function, and for the range to test, select the entire range. When you press enter, Excel evaluates each cell in that range, checking if C4 is greater than or equal to 60, then D4, E4, and F4, and returns a single true only if all of those tests come back true. If even one score is below 60, then AND returns false. Before concluding, let me show you a last example where the AND function is often used. So the AND function is often used when working with conditional formatting. Let's say that in this worksheet, we want to create a conditional formatting rule that highlight rows in the data where the color is either green or blue and the quantity is over 200. To do that, we select the data range from B4 to C12 and then navigate to the Home tab, clicking Conditional Formatting and choose New Rule. In the New Formatting Rule dialog, we select Use a formula to determine which cells to format and click into the formula box. There, we type an equal sign, enter and open its parenthesis. Immediately after, we type OR and open another parenthesis. For the first OR argument, we click cell B4, type equals green, type a comma, click B4 again, and type equals blue. Once both color tests are defined, we close the OR function, and for the second argument of the AND function, we set C4 bigger than 200. With our formula defined, we can click on Format, choose a fill color, such as a light yellow, and press OK twice to confirm. Excel immediately evaluates each row in B5 through C12, highlighting in yellow any row where column B reads green or blue and column C is greater than 200. Alright, so that was it. We explored the AND function in Excel and saw how powerful it can be when used alone or in combination with other functions. I will see you again in the next lecture.